And tonight it is my great pleasure to introduce our presenter, Diego Hernandez Calabria. Diego is the Digital Literacy Librarian, say that fast, for Sarasota County Libraries and Historical Resources, where he leads initiatives focused on tech help, marker space development, and professional development for both staff and patrons. Diego has a master's degree in library and information science and a strong background in public library volunteerism. He is passionate about positioning libraries as thriving, inclusive community spaces. He specializes in creating and supporting programs that promote engagement with library services, and he provides access to emerging technologies. When Diego is not enhancing digital literacy in the community, he enjoys video and tabletop gaming, relaxing with his 7-year-old cat, Raha, and jamming to synthwave music. You got to tell me what that is, Diego. Synthwave music. So
Yeah,
let's give a warm snug welcome to Diego Hernandez Calabria.
some of the services that I'm going to be talking about in here are not entirely exclusive to Sarasota County residents. Some of them can be accessed digitally. At worst, you could get a non-resident library card if you would like to be able to access some of them. But generally speaking, it's going to be kind of I'm just going to go over the gamut of what we offer as far as technology, digital resources, and I also am going to very specifically highlight our tech help service for several parts of this. So that is all to come. Uh, Again, information that includes my email there in case you would like to reach out to me for any reason. Any questions, I will gladly answer them. The logos up here are, as was stated in in the bio, the main things that I kind of look over in my position are creation station, maker spaces, hacker spaces, however you'd like to word it. Places where dedicated spaces within the library where you can just create things. Use of 3D printers, laser engravers, coding, virtual reality, the whole gamut of things. Tech Navigator, which is our tech help service, which I will get further into. And then this other symbol is the logo for Niche Academy, which is our training platform that we have for both staff and for patrons. So I will also mention more of that as we get further in. So past my face. I want to start by just kind of listing our library locations in case anybody has not used any of our libraries previously. This is where all of them are. We have 10 physical branches. The History Center is included in the Osprey Library and is not its own branch yet because we don't have another building for it yet, but that's up and coming. I also want to mostly point out with this page is these headers for most of the pages. A lot of them are links because I want to share this presentation after I've finished with it so that you can have access to the resources that I've linked inside of it. A lot of them will go to our website and any of the corresponding pages for what I'm going to be talking about. Some of them lead elsewhere, but I just want everyone to have those links after the fact. So a little bit of a brief on the library's overall mission, Sarasota County Library and Historical Resources overall mission statement, which is ensuring all residents can access and enjoy the quality of life that makes Sarasota County a great place to live, work, grow, play, and learn. And our vision is to create a space where everyone in the community can flourish. And pretty much everything that we do is informed by this mission, and we to that end, have also developed over the past couple of years a strategic plan that highlights several specific focus areas that help us to be able to achieve our mission and provide what the community wants. So, our strategic plan. We split it into 7 areas of focus based on the needs and aspirations of members of our community. Using our unique strengths and collaborating closely with our partners, these priority offerings will guide the efforts of our library system to advance our shared goals. Everything that we do is going to be informed by at least one of these focus areas, if not more than one, and if we can manage it, all 7. Um, but yeah, those focus areas are healthy living, green living, lifelong learning, meaningful career journeys, vibrant cultural life, library as a community convener, and active older adult living. So all of these are I might have just done some weird stuff with my screen, but that might just be on my side. So hopefully it's not getting in anybody's way. Um, all of these are what we are striving to achieve. And so, fancy transition to go into technology, one way or another, is going to be a vehicle by which we are able to achieve those and is really inextricably tied to our ability to be able to provide programming and services that are going to fulfill all of these focus areas. So we want to help our patrons to navigate through an ever-changing technological landscape. And the word navigating there is very much intentional. So what we that kind of goes back to the Tech Navigator name that we chose. And that is a offshoot of what has been known as the digital navigator model. So question of, well, what are digital navigators? The I believe it's the National Digital Inclusion Alliance. I almost said Alliance of Digital Inclusion, but the National Digital Inclusion Alliance gave a proper definition to what the digital navigator model is in 2024. And this has otherwise kind of existed even before that. This is just kind of the more recent, we're just putting this all into a set of words. So digital navigators are as follows. Trusted guides who assist community members with ongoing individualized support for accessing affordable and appropriate connectivity, devices, and digital skills. Navigators can be volunteers, cross-trained existing staff, or dedicated new hires who offer guidance on connectivity, devices, and digital skills. Typically a trusted community-based organizations, digital navigators are familiar with their community's resources that relate to digital equity, and they help residents to learn critical online services. They recommend resources and check back with the client over time to ensure that they are able to reach their goal. With on-demand services or through appointments, digital navigators support both urgent needs and long-term goals. Most digital navigators provide general support, and some offer specialized support for specific topics, such as healthcare, and for specific populations, including people with disabilities, returning citizens, higher education students, and caregivers to K-12 students. The kind of general basis of the model, which is train people, whether they're volunteers or staff, in our case, it's primarily staff, at trusted community-based organizations, the library, Natch, pretty much, and assisting with general support or sometimes specific topics. That's pretty much what we based very much our entire thing off of, and what libraries in general have been doing for a while, whether through a kind of formalized process or just from everyday interactions of people coming up to the desk, having just a question about something on their phone. So one way or another, they've done that. And I'm going to present just a couple of things real quick from the Public Library Association's technology survey. They ran the survey in 2023, had a site that they invited all public libraries nationwide to participate in. And I believe they got 1,500 results back. So the number here for the libraries that reported having a digital navigator program is representative of that sample size, but can kind of be extrapolated to be probably how much of it is. And this number is, of course, going to be growing because this was back in 2023. But just under 30% of libraries report that they offer a digital navigator program of some kind. So we are by no means the first, but we are definitely not going to be the last. And the reasons that these programs had pretty much come to being is addressed by some of the libraries themselves. Customers need to feel safe, not judged, to be seen and not rushed, and to feel that help is abundant and not scarce. Developing a relationship of trust through repeated appointments is the key to unlocking patrons' eagerness to learn and explore. People want help in the moment, and that need cannot always be met. So those are the reasons that a lot of these programs have started up, and essentially what kind of started up our program, our Tech Navigator initiative. Let me pass my notes real quick. Here we go. We started this program in late 2022 through a pilot, a kind of limited release pilot, and then expanded it to all the rest of our libraries throughout 2023, and it's still going on. Um, still going on currently. And actually, I just compiled our end of the year stats today, and we had almost 1,000 appointments over the course of fiscal year 2025. So it's growing, and we are getting a lot of people coming in and asking for help. Um, the uh, the Tech Navigator service is again an extension of what we've already offered at the library, which is walk-up tech help. But through Tech Navigator, we can give it a little bit more of a structured approach. Our Tech Navigators are guides for digital literacy. It's in the case of our program, it's library staff that offer assistance in the use of technology and the internet. Tech Navigators are available at point of need, whether it's in person, online, or by phone. We offer one-on-one 30-minute tech help appointments for personalized instruction. That is very much the thing that we really want to hammer with the Tech Navigator program, is that we want it to be personalized. You can't get the same degree of assistance in a class that has a dozen other people in it as you can when you are being worked with specifically to a teaching style that works for you. Um, and that can be in the library, or we also do offer Tech Navigator appointments through Zoom, or even just via a phone call, if that's whatever ends up being more convenient for the patron. So let me pass through on that. And there's another aspect to this, which is that it's open to pretty much everybody. As a library service, as with the majority of services that we provide, Tech Navigator service is free of charge. But in accordance with the idea that digital access is for everyone and should be for everyone, anyone is welcome to participate in the service, whether they are Sarasota County Library card holders or not, or whether they're even Sarasota County residents or not. It's for everyone. And we help with a large gamut of things. We can help with computers and laptops, though laptops are usually going to be the easier option because of portability. Phones, tablets, apps, email, internet, and other specialized devices like smartwatches and stuff that we've also helped with, and more. But these are generally going to be the most common things that we have assisted patrons in the use of. So these next few slides are going to mainly offer a baseline of the technology, functions, and services that we're able to help with, but it's by no means a fully exhaustive list. But these are the practical examples of what we have assisted with within the time frame of a one-on-one appointment. So, devices. We can help you to navigate and learn how to use Windows laptops, the Windows 10 or 11 operating system, and Surface tablets and phones, Apple products, iOS, MacBooks, iPhones and iPads, Android phones and tablets, and the general Android OS and ecosystem, and e-readers such as Kindle, Kobo, and Nook. And again, not even close to being the full list of representative devices that we could that we can assist with, but it's pretty spot on to what we generally get asked about. We can also help with the use of digital resources, and I guess digital ideas at that with some of these. So internet use, um, learning general cybersecurity, how to kind of minimize your online footprint, how to know what sites are safe to go to, what links are safe to click, um, what to do in those situations, that sort of, etc. Use of AI, such as ChatGPT, Gemini, any of the other now millions, thousands of large language models, generative AI that are steadily further filling the online ecosystem. And then, of course, just general web searching and providing other useful resources for any number of things. Um, and then as well, we can also help with library services, such as the numerous amounts of databases that we have provide access to in our digital library. A little bit more on that later. Um, ebooks and e-audiobooks, uh, streaming, interlibrary loan as a service, which has gone through a couple of changes, but it's still here. We're still trucking. And then also the Find Yourself at the Library app, which is Sarasota County Libraries' own mobile app where you can access the catalog, put access your library card account to put items on hold. Have an easy place to access your library card that you don't need to have, so you won't need to have your card physically. It can act as a digital wallet of sorts. A whole bunch of other stuff. It's a cool app, so we can help with that too. And then just other general basic functions of using technology, using digital resources, using everything. Device functions that include adjusting settings on your phone or tablet, or your computer, gestural commands, keyboard and mouse use, and then downloading, using, accessing apps or accessing the App Store, those kind of functions. We can also help with accounts insofar as we can help assist with creating emails and accounts, managing emails and accounts, and using accompanying app services. Um, we can mostly assist with the creation of them, viewing and adjusting settings from a mechanical perspective, such as how you would use common form functions like drop-down menus, fillable text fields, etc. Those kind of things we can help with. And then also basic troubleshooting, such as minor hardware or software issues, how to clear the cache on a device or within an application that you have, or other minor app malfunctions. There we go. Other kind of larger time-consuming complex functions like program installations, reformatting of devices, debugging, those are generally outside of the scope of service that our program provides. But in those cases, if it's something that we are not able to ourselves answer, we will provide you with recommendations for resources either online that you could use to find your solutions, or find other outside organizations that might be able to help in those cases. We've definitely recommended Stug in a few in a few instances. So you guys are a resource for us. I also do want to mention that with the appointment process, we try not to just show the answer if someone has a particular issue with accessing something on their device. It's less that we'll say, oh, it's just right here. We want to also then present the process for how you would go about finding that answer. You see this icon here, press that, use these gestural functions. You'll find, and yeah, use these gestural functions. Find the option here. This is how you can find similar this is how you'd be able to find similar applications. We want to go through the processes step by step and use that as a way to kind of retain what is being taught so that it empowers our patrons to be able to find those to find similar answers for themselves afterwards through practice. And that could be something they can even work on in between their next appointment. So that is kind of the nitty-gritty of the of our Tech Navigator service. The remaining slides in this presentation are going to be a collection of other digital and other technology offerings, some of which require library cards, some of which that are accessible without. If you have any other questions about Tech Navigator, we should have some time at the end for questions. So hang tight. But I would like to start with circling back to the digital library that I mentioned before. And again, in the header, there is a link, and that will lead directly to it. The digital library is always open, whether the physical libraries are open or not. You can explore various electronic resources with their own distinct collections in our digital library, and specifically just want to highlight our book resources or our book and periodical resources. So Cloud Library is our main ebook resource. Lets you download ebooks and audiobooks to your browser or your mobile device. And you check them out with your library card. When you get a library card, you basically already have an account for Cloud Library and can just start using it right away. And so it's as simple as just search for the thing you're looking for, hit borrow, you got it. Hoopla is similar, but also includes other mediums such as comics, music, and TV series. And there's no wait times for it. There is a essentially unlimited amount of items that are of each item that are in Hoopla. So if you see it, you can just immediately borrow it and start viewing it, and it just streams it to your device. You just have a checkout limit of, I believe, 10 items per month. So you can use that in combination with Cloud Library to get the most out of it. We also have Flipster, which lets you download magazines to read offline at your convenience. And there's a huge collection of magazines that it has access to, a lot of the big ones. And then there's Press Reader, which is for both magazines and newspapers, but is a global collection of them. So you can find an obscene amount of international newspapers and magazines inside of it. It can also provide audio transcriptions and translations of each of those publications. Not mentioned here, it also has a puzzle section. So if you're someone that likes the New York Times puzzles and games sections of the paper, Press Reader basically has that and several different games that you can just play updated daily. So it's a real cool resource. But there's a whole lot to the digital library. So if you need any help getting started, this is where the Niche Academy side of my job description comes in. Niche Academy is again a learning platform that we have put a lot of tutorials on for each different database and resource in our digital library. It gives you step-by-step instructions on how to get started with using several of those resources, and some of their most basic functions, like just searching for things. And it's included in both text and video form. So if you ever need to know how some of that stuff works, you can totally get started by just looking at Niche Academy. Take a quick drink. As far as some other physical technology that we offer, we do have access to mobile hotspots. Mobile hotspots are available for checkout with a library card to give you wireless access pretty much anywhere you go. They provide access to a 4G network that you can just take with you. You can check them out for up to 14 days, but they can be renewed up to 5 times if there's no one else waiting for any. They are available at any library, so it doesn't matter which library you go to, you can just pick one. You'll be able to pick one up. And they are available to adult residents and non-resident cards, because non-resident cards will ultimately have the same the same privileges as a normal adult resident card. And I can explain more about that if anyone would like me to later. We also have pop-up services. So the van here is essentially our current 11th branch, but it's mobile. The pop-up library offers basically most of the services that we provide at a physical location, just that the van can come to you or come to uh, a location that you would like to come to, which can include, I have it here, public parks, childcare facilities, condominium complexes, retirement communities, senior centers, recreational facilities, and even more than that. Um, so they provide services such as library card registration and renewal. You can check out and drop off materials at the pop-up library. The staff there can also provide reading recommendations and general reference services as any of the people at our reference desks can do. They can also assist you with technology. The branch can also be used as a outreach Tech Navigator program. They also have access to Wi-Fi at the van, and they can also put on special programs by request. So if you'd like to request the pop-up library to come to your organization, you can do that at the link up at the top here. It'll take you to the pop-up page, and then there's another link on there that takes you to the form to request that they stop by. I also want to spotlight one of our newest services, our Memory Lab. So the Memory Lab is a do-it-yourself space for digitizing and preserving family documents, photographs, films, and audio recordings. It is currently located at the Osprey Library. It is run by the History Center. Um, but we are planning to expand the Memory Lab to other library locations. I just don't have any other details on that just yet because it's still very much a work in progress, and we just launched the Memory Lab about a month and a half ago, I want to say. Um, you're able to convert data from obsolete media formats such as VHS, CD, and more than that even, and transfer to a cloud storage or portable storage device for easy access and sharing, and of course to make sure that it lives on forever. You do not need a library card to use the Memory Lab. It just needs an appointment. You can request that through the dedicated page on the website. Again, I got it linked up in the top here. Um, and there will be more news on other library locations once that info has come together. Starting to close out this presentation, I want to talk about our Ask Us service. Ask Us is our dedicated chat, text, and email platform, much like the statewide Ask a Librarian, if anyone is familiar with that. It allows patrons who cannot access the library at that time to still receive the same high-quality reference service that we provide in person, just over a convenient source like online or by phone or by text. The live chat function of Ask Us is open while we are open. And we are able to receive tickets through email and text to answer pretty much any question that you might have on your mind, whether it's a question about the library or even just a further reference question like looking up obituaries or getting the most recent bestseller list. Or I'm trying to think of a funny one that I've gotten in my time, but we do get any number of questions that we can answer through the service. The phone number goes to our dedicated Info Central department, who answer for all the libraries and can either answer your questions right then and there, or they'll be able to direct you to the right people to be able to who can do that. So that number is there. The text number is there if you would like to submit a text ticket, and it's instantaneous. We'll also just get right back to you. And then also a website link down here. That did not get hyperlinked, so I will fix that so that it is hyperlinkable, so that you can just click right on it when you have the presentation. So you can use that to email or chat with us. Ask Us also extends to after hours to a degree. So We have online FAQs that cover library services, databases, policies, and basically any kind of happenings that are beyond that. For example, and I say this not trying to jinx us because we're so close to the end of this season and it's palpable, but if there's extenuating circumstances that might lead to a library closure, there will usually be an FAQ for that right away. So that's also the kind of what else we will be able to provide, just easy access to questions to answer from that. We do also have a chat bot that turns on after the library is closed and before it opens. It is not a proper AI. It is something that I had to program to be able to answer specific questions, lead to specific answers, or be able to take tickets so that somebody from the library will be able to answer it. But it is something to let people know that, hey, we're listening. You can shoot a question at the chat bot. It can probably have an answer for you. If not, a library person will be able to get that answered for you real soon. And then you can also make purchase requests through through Ask Us if you see that there is a book or movie that is not in our collection and should probably be there. You can make that request through the Ask Us platform. Lastly, some additional resources and the one meme that I allowed myself to put into this presentation. So these are the things that we will often suggest to people if they need even more help beyond what the library can offer with technology instruction. So GCF Global is one of them, free online learning platform for essential 21st century skills for all walks of life, including technology basics such as email, internet, devices, online safety, etc. GCF mainly covers a lot of the just real basic stuff. So if you need any help with that, GCF's a pretty good place to go. And going kind of hand in hand in it with some additional basics, but also a few some instruction on other specific services. You can check out Digital Learn, which provides courses on everything from computer basics to using specific services, such as an introduction to Facebook or using telehealth or video conferencing, etc. So Digital Learn goes into some more specific products as well to provide instruction on that. And then lastly, there is Tech Life Unity, a free educational website that provides articles and tutorials on websites, apps, and other online services that's made to be easy to understand and repeatable, reciprocable, all of that. So they do a lot of recent apps as well. It's constantly updated. So if something new has come out, you can probably see an article from Tech Life Unity relatively soon on it that kind of gives a primer on it and how you can start using it. Usually on this slide, Stug is included as well, but I think it would be a little bit of preaching to the choir if I were to include you guys in the presentation that I was doing for you guys. But yeah, we do suggest. And that is the end of my presentation. So I am totally good with taking some questions if we have time for that. And again, I'll share this presentation. I should have the link now even, so I could probably just pop that into the chat real quick, but I can, yeah, if we have some time for questions, I can take some.
Okay, if you'd go ahead and stop your share, and we can
Yes.
see who's got their hands up and so on.
There.
Jolyn has her hand up first.
I just wanted to say thank you so much. I live in Hilton Head, South Carolina, so we have a decent library system in Beaufort County. But boy, oh boy, they are so lucky to A, have you, Diego, and B,
Thank you.
have such an amazingly expansive features and services through the library. You guys are awful lucky. No, you guys are very good lucky down there.
We try. It's what we do. It's what we're in here for.
Bill Crow.
Diego, you can send the presentation to me and I'll get it on our website.
Cool. I'll do that too. I just posted it in the chat now, which that link should work so people can be able to access it. I am going to fix the couple of hyperlinks in the thing that did not go through. So it will probably update tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'll go ahead and also send this to you as well.
Thank you.
Elva has her hand up.
Yeah, Diego, I assume that you charge a fee for a non-resident library patron. I mean, that makes sense because
Yep.
taxpayers in Sarasota County are supporting the library. So what
Pretty
is the
much.
fee for a non-resident?
To my memory, it is 3 months is $15, 6 months is $25, and a year is $40.
Great,
Yep. And
thank
that comes with all of the privileges of a normal resident card, which also includes e-materials. Reciprocal borrowers have access to our full physical collection. So if you have like a Manatee County Library card or another neighboring Florida county that participates in the reciprocal system, you can get a reciprocal card, but it's just going to be for anything you can get inside one of the branches. The resident card and the non-resident paid card have access to the digital stuff, which includes mainly Cloud Library, Hoopla, and I believe Flipster and Pressreader are actually just free unless you want to use an account with them to save lists of magazines and newspapers, etc. So that's mostly
Yeah, we
what
have a great library here in Arlington. We offer a lot of the same services that you described, including what we called a retro lab for all of the digitization of old technology, which is a great benefit. And you offer that as well.
Yeah, different name, same scope.
And we have the maker space and all that with 3D printers and actually quilting machines and Cricut and all different kinds of things.
Yeah, we have those too. I forgot to mention those. We do also have a full gamut of sewing machines. We have Cricut machines, like both the stencilers, the hat makers, all of the presses. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just so much.
I'm lucky to serve as the chair of the library board here in Arlington. So this is my first year. I just had on Thursday my first board meeting as chair. I've been on the board for a year, but anyway.
Awesome.
I did screenshot some of your slides because I thought they were very good and I wanted to keep them for reference.
Cool. Yeah, again, I'm going to send the presentation out. I'll send it to Bill so that he can share it with everybody. It's also in the chat, in the Zoom chat right now, if for anyone who can grab it from that.
Just amazing the amount of material and things that you have available at the libraries, and for the people who are not from this area, they need to check their own library system because they probably have a lot of the same things. I know Hoopla. I've done a lot of presentations to groups around the country, and I usually look up some of the things that they have available there. And Hoopla is one of the ones that a good many of them subscribe to.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of libraries, especially modern libraries now, do share a lot of similar resources. They just might go by a different name, or they might be like a slightly different service, but otherwise you don't know what you're going to find there. So just check it out.
What is the library system doing with AI and helping people understand what it is and so on? You didn't mention any of that because it is so new and so on. What are your thoughts on it, and where are you headed with it?
AI is an incredibly useful tool that we thus far are starting to integrate into programming. Though so far it's been to a very small degree because some of our staff also still has to learn how to use use it for how we would be able to present it in a program. But if we do get those questions in the midst of our tech help, like in the midst of like a tech help query, then we can help people with using them from that. In our work, we use the Microsoft Office 365 suite, so we do have access to Copilot, and have been kind of working our way around that as well. But thus far as like any widespread programming goes, we still haven't quite hit that point yet for offerings with it. To a degree, we also have not been asked about it that much. And we've gotten some general questions of like, all right, well, what is AI? How do I use it? And that can usually be boiled down to a here's ChatGPT, here's how you can make a decent prompt, etc. But as far as a widespread interest goes, we haven't seen it yet. But it's also still this whole thing's new. It keeps changing.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
people don't know what to ask with it sometimes because it just keeps changing. So yeah, but we're staying on top of it.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I want to know, Diego, where did you go to learn all this?
Um, about our services itself, it was pretty much once I got hired at Sarasota County. But I went to USF for my master's degree. What they don't tell you at library school is that for the most part, it doesn't really teach you how to actually work in a library. You learn a lot of the back end processes, but those processes are not always going to be relevant to somebody who's going to be working primarily more on the front lines. Um, a lot of this stuff I kind of just learned by doing it, by experimenting. So that is sort of the principle that we at least we try to take with the Tech Navigator program, is to just provide the opportunity to experiment, to a safe place where you can kind of mess around with something and be able to see how it works, what makes it tick. So that's a lot of how I kind of learned my stuff, is I just kind of messed around with it until it worked.
How did
Do
you
you-
train all the other people that are working at the different libraries?
So Niche Academy is one of the big ones. In addition to that digital library one, there is one that we have specifically for staff that goes over like how to run a Tech Navigator appointment. And actually, I kind of inherited that process. It was made before I was in this position. But I was one of the first participants in actually putting the thing on. I was part of the Selby Library was the pilot library for the initiative. So I was taking appointments and just doing them. So a lot of my learning from that was, well, we need to figure out how we're going to make this thing work anyway. So we're just going to apply what we do already at the desk to a one-on-one thing and take notes on that and see what happens. So just as much of it was learning by doing, and we've used that to then create training materials for staff that comes in who are also going to be providing the same service. And then also
Plus, you're a
just any
digital
number of-
native. You're a
Yeah.
digital native. So
Yeah,
you probably were
I
using
tend to
a
do that.
computer at 4 years old.
Not that early. Oh, not that early, but like 9, 10 years old. So
You're finding in excuse me, in the age groups of the people coming in to seek help, is it pretty much over the whole gamut, or are you finding it's old people and real young people, or mixture, or what are you finding?
primarily older adults. The vast majority of what we get for Tech Navigator appointments is primarily older adults. I would probably put that at being the like mid 40s and up range. We mainly would see younger people if it were anything regarding our creation stations, and we have a whole separate appointment system for that. That's where I've mainly seen younger participants. But for Tech Navigator, the one-on-one help, it's mostly older adults.
Yeah, because what we're finding with our group is a lot of people are aging out, and our memberships and user groups throughout the country. Because I speak to groups all over the country, a lot of them are aging out, and the whole idea of clubs and organizations has changed, and those of us who are been around a while. The younger people aren't doing the same kinds of things. So I was just wondering if you're getting some responses. Do you aim to those people at all, and they don't come in, or is it just they're not ready for it yet when they start getting to the point where they don't understand things, they'll come in?
We do try, and actually, part of our strategic plan initiative was also the development of several working groups for each of those focus areas. And the one that I happen to be a part of, lifelong learning, we actually have been working to reach out more to the new adult audience, with finding out what is it that's going to bring them into the libraries. Is it going to be stuff like programming? Is it the community aspects of what the library can offer? Is it tech help? Is it we will try to get those opinions, and so we're working on being able to create more programming marketing that is going to be geared towards them. But in general, we try to just spread the web out all over the place and see what catches. It's just that we mostly have caught older adults with tech help because that's the primary audience that is asking for it.
And
Yeah, for
Diego,
those
this
that
may not be in your bailiwick, but have you experienced any budget constraints recently, like we have?
Yeah. Yeah, we have. And that is part of the interlibrary loan changes. The network has kind of gone down a bit, and that is the biggest budgetary thing that I have seen recently. I think it was just today it started that some of the scope of the service was going to be coming down, especially because the nationwide delivery system for it is kaput. It's still available, and we're still making it available, and several libraries are still able to participate in the program. But yeah, that's a place where we're definitely seeing it. I'm not usually into the like deep enough into administration to see all the rest of that
Yeah.
otherwise, but at least that one I've very much caught into.
anyone
I'm
else?
sorry for speaking out of turn, Huey.
No, that's fine. That's it's all been very smooth, and Diego certainly has the answers, and a lot of services available that I think Stug can avail themselves of, and vice versa. So
By all means.
I think it's a good fit there for us to tell people about, and also for you to tell about us. So.
Mhm.
Any other comments, questions? And I'll turn it over to you to wrap it up. Diego, thank you so much.
Can I
Yeah,
ask one
thank you for
more?
having me.
That was a great
Diego,
presentation.
the,
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And
Go
we
ahead,
look forward
Ann.
to seeing you again.
I think someone's trying to ask a
I'm sorry,
question.
somebody had a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry, couldn't get my hand up fast enough. I wanted to make sure, all these services in all the Sarasota libraries or just in a couple?
So unless, except for some of the few that I mentioned that were very specific, like
Okay.
the memory lab is only at the Osprey Library currently,
Right.
but we are planning to expand that out. Otherwise, everything that I've mentioned is available at all of the other libraries in some form. They can help you to be able to access them. Of course, the individual collections at each of the libraries is going to vary because that's just what happens with an overall
Right.
library
So
system, is
I
that we
could
all share
check
the
the
collection.
website.
But
I could check the website to confirm and then see if there's an appointment. I'd be able to figure it out from that. So the website for each of
exactly.
the libraries would be the smart way to go, right?
Yeah, so that's all going to be the one website, sarasotacountylibraries.org. There should be a
Okay.
link for that also in the presentation, and on the Tech Navigator slide itself, there should be a link to the Tech Navigator page.
All
It
right.
is one appointment form to access that for any of the libraries. You would just say which library you're at, and somebody from that library will get in contact with you about it.
Diego was wonderful. Thank you so much. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann.
Any more questions before we go? Thank you again, Diego. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. You really told us an awful lot.
Cool. That was the goal.
Love the way you talk fast because that's what you young kids do, and I love it.
Yeah, I tried to slow myself down, I promise. But
I know
it's
you
just tough
did,
for me
but we
sometimes.
appreciated it. We
Cool.
understood every word.
Awesome.
Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you all for coming tonight, and we will see you in another month.
And don't forget the holiday season dinner or lunch.
Oh,
Sign
yeah,
up for
sign
it.
up for it because
Yeah,
there are
sign
only
up for it.
20 that we can take. So be sure to sign up for it. It's online now. And you can sign up, we could take the first 40 that do. All right. Thank you again, everybody. Thanks for
Good night.
coming.
Bye all.
Goodbye.